Hello and welcome into Blockbench. It is a free-to-use 3D modeling software that is completely adapted into Minecraft model development. You can also do a bunch of other fun stuff, as you can probably tell by the left if you're a bit cheeky reading into some of the informations. Regardless, we are going to take a very, very smooth and relaxed approach to how to look and work around the interface. Right? So let's begin with a Bedrock model. And if we click on that, we'll be greeted by this interface. In the background here, you'll see what we're going to work with in a second. And if you were to click around the interface that I just did, it'll disappear. Wow. Why? That's not good, is it? Well, don't worry. We can get the window open again by going up to File here to the very left. Left click and click on Project. That'll bring up the very same window. In this window, we can give a name to our file. And I'm going to call this one Hello. Hello. Okay, that's going to be the one. Probably how you guess Swedes sound when they say hello, right? Hello. I'll do the same thing here. Hello. Don't worry about the other fields. You don't have to fill this in either. But you'll probably be forced to down the line if you want to save your file. Regardless, I'll confirm that and we're back into the interface again. Now, if it is so that your interface does not look like this, you don't have this big square, but instead you have this interface with a square up here. The way to get around that and to swap between these ones is by using the tab key on your keyboard. The tab key is located just below escape at the very up left corner. Yeah, up left corner. And it's a button that either says tab or have two arrows pointing in opposite directions in a horizontal manner. If you click on that button, you'll get back to this view. If you click on it again, you'll get to this view. If you click on it again, you'll get back to this view. While if you look at the interface itself, we have a few potential shortcuts up here, right? Well, it's our menu bar. And in our menu bar, we can choose to click, for example, View. What I just told you about is the one thing that is blue marked here under View. It's called Toggle Quad Views. It allows us to see more viewports in our screen. A viewport is a different camera that watches a different angle on our model. That is all you need to know. I would refrain from using this interface when you're working with Blockbench for the first time and focus on using this interface. So tab your way until you have this interface in front of you. Now, if we were to go up to File here to the left, you ready? Get to File? Good. Well, look into this. We have Project. We can create a new project. You can look into recent projects, open a model from a folder on your computer. You can save the project, etc. All the way down to exporting a certain model. And we have Settings. Are you with me this far? Let's click on Settings. In Settings, usually, General is the one that you have open at the very beginning. But that doesn't matter. Click that one down and make sure that you're on the Settings tab. Get down to Grid and click in the choice that says Block Grid right there. Why this? Well, the block grid is a good way to work with the software and know more about how big a model is going to be within the Minecraft space. Because if we close this one right now, if we click that one in, close this, you'll see that we get a few different squares around here. Each of these squares represent the size of a Minecraft block, which is good to know. So if our model is here and it's smaller than this, it's going to be smaller than a Minecraft block in size. And that's why I usually try to add that, or at least instruct people in adding that option to the viewport. So if you enable that, now you know a bit more about where your model is. So how to navigate the viewport? If we left click, hold left click and drag, we can rotate in our view by just pulling the mouse around. As long as you're holding left click, you can move. If you let go and move, you'll move the mouse. Left click and move, rotate, left click and move without holding. Well, not left clicking, of course, letting go of the key. You'll be able to move the mouse around again. Right, you got that down? Left click, rotate, let go, move around. If we were to right click instead, we'll now move the floor. And why do I call this the floor? Well, it's essentially representing the very ground surface in a Minecraft world. This field right here is the ground surface. Or everything that is put on the line of this field will be on the ground surface. So, moving this around, don't have to move it that fast, but holding a right click on your mouse and then moving and dragging with your mouse will allow you to move the viewport like this. Left click to rotate, right click to move. and don't any one of them in order to move the mouse freely, right? But that is only when you're in this viewport, because as soon as you move outside of it, you can't left click and drag, you right click and drag, it won't do anything, right? If you're in this viewport. But also know that when you have clicked in this viewport, you can drag the mouse outside of it and still affect it. Because it basically reads the space of your computer, right? You can see that? I'm holding and dragging. Same thing for the move. Holding and dragging, holding and dragging. Back on screen. Now, if you were to accidentally lose this view, if you were to pull it away, it's gone. We can click on the little small 3 buttons up here and say center view on selection. It will bring back the view to the center of a screen. And with the scroll wheel, we can zoom in and zoom out. Zoom in and zoom out. Have you gotten that so far? Good. Now, those are the very fundamentals of how to work your way around the Blockbench interface. In the next episode, we're going to look into how to put down your very first cube and put a texture onto it. I hope that you have managed to put some interest into the software already. Now, make sure that you click around and drag a bit and play around with the interface. Look into some of these things. Create a new project, for example, save your project, and just to get used to the workflow of it, okay? And I'll see you in the next clip.